Hello everyone, this is Rose Gold, and today we're getting into part 2 of What If Naruto Was a Hyuga. Now, I do not know when this will be released, however, I do hope that you enjoyed part 1, as it hasn't been released yet at the time of writing this. However, if it has been, at the time of rest recording this. So I want to thank you all for the massive support, but I don't want to thank YouTube as it's been removing my likes. Yeah, I'm pretty salty, but yeah. However, if you did enjoy it, you will definitely enjoy this one as it's pretty long. So be sure to like, subscribe, and join the Discord to interact with me. But now let's get straight into part 2. Naruto was rather surprised. He was with Sasuke Uchiha? And Uchiha, huh? He had been interested in the Sharingan. However, he did still have a slight bias toward the Byakugan, as he, of course, himself had access to it, as well, and it was his clan's most prized ability. Sasuke just stared at Naruto. He used to be rather indifferent toward him, however, now he kind of disliked Naruto. He was the worst in his class, but he was still in a team with him. How disappointing. Of course, Sakura was swarming over Sasuke, but she kind of ignored Naruto, who didn't really like her. She'd always been swarming over Sasuke and only cared about how cool Sasuke was and how big of a crush she had on him. It was rather weird to him, to be fair, so he just looked away until Iruka told him to stay here and wait for their teacher, which they did. So they waited and waited and waited until finally Kakashi opened the door, and after telling them that they were all rather boring, which dumbfounded the team of Not Yet Genin, when the team of Not Yet Genin went up to the roof. So, introduce yourself. Name, likes, dislikes, goals. Kakashi told them with a sigh, as they were just waiting. Sakura started instead of Naruto. My name is Sakura Haruno. My likes? She blushed hardly, looking at Sasuke. My dislikes? Her eyes darted toward Naruto, who just sighed. And my goals? To marry someone. She once again looked at Sasuke, and her pupils could be hearts, however the latter did not care. Sasuke went next, as Naruto was still thinking, and he said in his nature, that being edginess, I am Sasuke Uchiha. My likes? I don't like much. This made Sakura's face drop. My dislikes? Almost everything. Naruto snickered as even he could tell how edgy he was being, but Sasuke either did not notice or decided to ignore it and continued. My goal? To kill a certain someone. Kakashi just nodded and stared at Naruto. Finally done thinking? Naruto nodded and started. I'm Naruto Hyuga. I like ramen, reading, and training. I dislike being sleeping after eating too much ramen and not that much else. My goal is to have the Hyuga clan accept me as their own and to become the Hokage. Kakashi was surprised, not by the Hokage thing, it was pretty usual, as a lot of people wanted to do so, but this boy wasn't even accepted by his own clan? Kakashi sighed and said, You're all still boring, which made their faces drop again, and had Kakashi chuckling, until telling everyone to meet him at the training ground so they could perform their first test. As two of them arrived, the two, that being Sakura and Sasuke, were rather annoyed that not only was Naruto late, but their sensei was too. About an hour later, Naruto arrived as he had overslept, and half an hour after that, Kakashi finally appeared, telling them, was I late? Uh, I got lost on my way here. Yeah, that. Everyone could tell that was a lie, but Naruto just chuckled. In this test, you have to get these belts. He held up the two belts to pass. Sakura put her hand into the air, and Kakashi asked her, "Go on." Sensei, there are only two. Contrary to Sakura's beliefs, Kakashi responded, "Yes, I know. The person who doesn't get a bell will not get any lunch." Naruto's face dropped. No lunch? He trusted Kakashi and didn't eat anything, and now he does this? Horrible! Naruto cracked his knuckles. As Kakashi said, the test starts. He paused and the not yet Genin looked ready until he shouted, Go! The Genin disappeared. Naruto was in a bush, very much near Kakashi, while Sasuke and Sakura moved further back. Naruto failing the Genin exam made him want to prove his worth even more, so as Kakashi pulled out his book, Naruto activated his Byakugan and tried to look for a blind spot. Naruto crossed his fingers into a plus. Seemingly finding one, Naruto ran out, but Kakashi easily blocked the attack. that Naruto made and punched him hard in the stomach, however. It poofed. It was a shadow clone? Suddenly, 20 Narutos ran out and all threw a gale palm at him. What? Kakashi was very surprised. Not many Genin knew how to perform a nature style jutsu, and one this strong, it's incredible. Kakashi smiled broadly under his mask, getting pushed back from the Gale Palm. But Kakashi performed the Gale Palm of his own, to blast away all the clones. Huh? Huh? Naruto was shocked at how his shadow clones had disappeared with only one Gale Palm. Jonins truly were incredible. Suddenly behind Kakashi, Sasuke tried to land a kick right into his face, but Kakashi blocked it. However, Naruto ran up with a wind bullet as well. The two were working together, but they didn't once talk and just nodded at each other. Akilum was very sneakily approaching Kakashi from behind. It was like the two were twins. When Naruto attacked Sasuke in a way to counterblock from Kakashi, who had a big smile, until when he moved very quickly, the bells were gone. He didn't hear any clanging. The clone was behind Naruto and dropped the two bells into his hand, and Naruto gave one to Sasuke and kept one for himself until Sakura ran out. She was sad as she wasn't able to get a bell, however Naruto threw one to her. Even though she had strongly disliked him for so long, and even treated him like garbage, Naruto was still so kind to her. Sakura teared up a bit quickly, but quickly wiped away her tears, as Naruto just smiled at her. However, he wasn't the only one smiling. You all pass! The three, now getting, were shocked. This test wasn't about fighting me, getting the bell. It was to test your teamwork, Sasuke asked. But isn't the most important thing to finish the mission and go by the rules, even if you have to leave your friends behind? Sasuke was more of a follower of rules in this. Right now, however, that would change in a few words. Kyoshi was about to speak. You know, Sasuke, in the ninja world, people who break the rules are scum. That's true. But people who abandon their friends are worse than scum. He had a very cold tone until he switched entirely. He said, "But now it's time to get some ramen." Not just shouted out in surprise and happiness, and even because Sasuke smiled. Sakura still felt horrible and stood there until Naruto patted her shoulder. "Come on, Kakashi senses getting us ramen." The pink-eyed girl sniffed but smiled and started to walk to Ichiraku ramen with the others. We switched to a week of being getting. God, these missions are boring, Naruto said rather bluntly. He thought that this team was worth more than only D-rank missions, so he asked Kakashi if they could get a higher rank mission, and Sasuke joined him in asking, so Kakashi sighed and nodded, bringing them to the Hokage. These little three would like to request a higher rank mission. The third Hokage smiled and got out a C-ranked mission that had not been taking it. How about a C-rank mission then? Naruto, Sasuke, and even Sakura smiled broadly, and the third felt it under Team 7 and Kakashi nodded. Bring Tazuna in. Two of the Hokage's personal Ambu brought in the seemingly still drunk bridge builder, who, as Naruto was actually the second tallest, had nothing to insult him over, so he just asked, "Why does it have to be those three toddlers?" The three just stared at him coldly, and Naruto was about to say something, but Kakashi held him back. And that had Tazuna shutting up. However, the third just stared at him coldly, and that had Tazuna shutting up rather quickly, as it was common knowledge that the third Hokage was the strongest of the five Kage, so shouting about his Genin would be a rather stupid move. The Genin team and Bridge Builder met out up about a day after, with everyone having a good amount of rations and extra supplies with them in a backpack, and the group started the trip. The trip went rather smoothly, until suddenly Kakashi stopped them all as he started to puddle. How weird! Look, it's two puddles, even though it hasn't rained in a week. He was cut off as he was seemingly killed by the demon brothers. Kakashi! Naruto shouted and kicked one of the demon's brother in the face after hitting him with a gale palm. He was knocked out. He was relieved as he saw Sasuke had taken out the other one, but he was still depressed that his sensei had died. Da- Kakashi popped out of the ground and had Naruto shouting at him. "I was worried for you, Kakashi." The dollar just laughed, but he secretly felt very happy that his team cared for him. Kakashi quickly congratulated Naruto and Sasuke for acting so quickly, and even Sakura, as she had fallen back to protect Tazuna. But now they needed to get going again, and that they did. It went pretty well again until suddenly a sword came flying toward them, and Kakashi told them to duck down. Everyone did as Kakashi told, and suddenly Zabuza appeared in the sword, saying, "Good job, Kakashi. You were able to protect your little goblins." Naruto was rather offended. Goblins? However, suddenly he realized who Zabuza was. He had read about him. Zabuza, the Mist Demon, smirked at Kakashi until suddenly the fight began as Zabuza jumped down. Kakashi was landing good hits until Zabuza pulled out his jutsu. However, Kakashi wouldn't let his students be hurt. So he pulled up his headband, revealing the Sharingan. Sasuke shouted out in surprise, which was very unlike his usual save, and had Naruto and Sasuke looking around him confused like, huh? However, Sasuke was stuck in his thoughts. But the Sharingan is an Uchiha only dojutsu. Sasuke thought, but right now he did not have any time to be offended over it, as the true fight was beginning. Kakashi was copying all of Zabuza's jutsu, however, they were a good amount more powerful. However, when Kakashi was about to win, Zabuza was able to trap in a water prison because of one uncareful move. So Kakashi was stuck until suddenly Naruto flew at Zabuza with the help of Sasuke, and was actually able to hit him with about 16 palms, with his Byakugan active. However, he was quickly thrown aside, but Zabuza had accidentally let his hand slip from the prison, and Kakashi looked pissed. Zabuza tried to hit him with a few water dragons, but Kakashi just copied a lot on his own, and as before, they were more powerful. When the last dragon hit Zabuza, he was about to die, until suddenly a few Senbon hit him right in the neck, and an Anbu took them away. The Anbu looked female, with a rather female voice. Ah, thank you. We have been meaning to catch this one for a while. Yeah, I'm doing it. I am your Lord and Savior, and I have made the anonymous Anbu, a girl. Kakashi couldn't even think anymore, as he just passed out. Now I'm going to be ending this part off right here, so I hope you all enjoyed. I spent a good amount of time writing this, so I really appreciate a like and subscribe, but of course you don't need to. You just being here made my day. This was Rose Gold, and I am out.